going live or not, we'll never know.
But we are live on Facebook also. So welcome. Thank you, Amrita, for joining me.
So guys, as we do this every Sunday, and our timings are very off, given that we are also very off. So today, the idea is to ask Gautam, again of course always on cinema mostly, the idea is to ask Gautam his views on back from the 50s.
From the 50s, and talking about an actor that I adore. And the thing about this actor is that those who like him simply love him, and those who can't like him or don't like him simply can't stand him.
So his name is Guru Dutt, and we have to announce that.
But this
And the reason I look distracted is not because I don't like listening to Gautam, it's to see the comments.
This is Amrita's state of mind as far as Hindi films go. I was giving that big preamble for Devanand. Okay, so Devanand is the idea, and we are going to talk about all things connected to Dev Saab, and usme somewhere Guru Dutt plays a very integral and important role because they were good friends, and not helping Guru Dutt is one of Devanand's big regrets. So we'll get into that later.
So Gautam, I'm so sorry. You know, you guys, for you actually is why I'm looking at what comments you send so that I can ask questions to Gautam. तो ये हो गया मेरा माइंड में टू ये है पेरिस्कोप एंड ये है फेसबुक ओके सो Gautam, I got you got quite a lot of live viewers, so you got about 44 people. Voice is not clear and it's low.
It's low? Okay, so I will practice throwing my voices. I hope this is fine. So thanks for joining in and welcome, and we're talking about all things Devanand. Now Dev Saab, the fans of Dev Saab, those who like him simply love him and adore him, and I raise my hand to that. And those who don't like Dev Saab that much simply can't understand whatever makes Dev Saab such a phenomenon or such a big personality in the history of
Are we live
Indian
Gautam
cinema.
on Facebook?
Yeah, we're live.
अच्छा इधर live नहीं है by the way. Okay, don't worry about
अच्छा.
this.
So go ahead. Somebody said yeah, you're like hello, hi.
Yeah, so I can't see the comments, but I will do. Okay, here come the comments.
Now you can see.
So comment.
Reduce the volume.
Oh, dear, hi. How are you? So probably Gautam, is it a good idea for me to log in from your account? Chalo, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's not that I don't.
You're live both on Twitter and FB. Thanks, Dia.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for letting us
thank
know.
you for confirming.
You know,
क्या कहते हैं हमारी दूरदर्शिता इतनी अच्छी नहीं है, can't see the screen.
इधर रख लो.
Yeah. So now to bring your notice to a phenomenon called Devanand. Why Devanand is important? Because Devanand is one of the first stars post-independence. So Devanand's first film, his debut was in the late 1940s.
Gautam, you'll have to be very loud.
Yeah, so his debut is in the late 1940s, and his first film after independence of India was a film called Ziddi, which was incidentally also Pran, the legendary Pran's first film to be shot in India. Now Pran Saab was a big star, a well-known personality in Lahore before partition, but post-partition when he shifted to Bombay, then Bombay, now Mumbai, he became friends with Manto, and Manto introduced him to a lot of people. And one of the people that he introduced him to was a gentleman called Shahid Latif, who produced this film called Ziddi, which had Dev Saab.
Gautam, people are requesting if you could be louder.
Okay, so I will really be loud and I will throw my voice.
ये बोलता है करता नहीं है. So go loud and अब हम चिल्लाएंगे एक दूसरे पे.
चीखो, चिल्लाओ.
This is fun.
Yeah. So basically, Devanand is one of the first big stars post-independent India. But more than that, he was also a big producer who had a big influence in bringing out great talent to the industry. So people like.
Gautam, they're all asking us कि ये तो volume आ नहीं रही है. So we guys can't come closer because अगर हम पास आ जाते हैं तो फिर हम में से एक बाहर चले जाएगा. We're too fat. So the idea is that ऐसे.
Yeah. So I guess this is how we'll do because now I can read also.
Yeah.
So are you following me? So Dev Saab is a very important person because he started his production house Navketan, and he gave breaks to a lot of important people. So one of the first people that he wanted to give a break to, and that is the reason why he started his banner Navketan, was to give his brother Chetan Anand, his elder brother Chetan Anand, a shot at making a film which is a popular commercial Hindi film. Now Chetan Saab had made this film called Neecha Nagar, which is the first film to win a Grand Prix at the first ever Cannes Film Festival.
Okay.
So with Rossellini's Rome Open City, Neecha Nagar became the first film at the first ever Cannes Film Festival to win the Grand Prix. Today the Grand Prix prize is popularly known as the Palme d'Or or the Golden Palm.
Okay.
So this is a very big thing that Chetan Anand's film was the first film to win that
So
award.
has India ever made it to international platform before of this one?
No, this is the first time that a film actually won the top prize at a big film festival.
Gautam, your voice
So-
you please have to try. Udari, be very loud.
So yeah, so Mother India got nominated for an Oscar in the Best Foreign Film category in 1957, but it didn't win an award. So now Chetan Anand को launch करने के लिए Dev साहब started his banner called Navketan, which means new. Sorry?
चाय पी रहे हैं?
नहीं नहीं
दारू नहीं पी रहे,
चाय है और काली कॉफी है. So Dev साहब started Navketan, and Navketan also gave breaks to big names such as Guru Dutt, Raj Khosla, Sahir Ludhianvi, S.D. Burman, and Kishore Kumar, the playback singer, started singing very, very regularly for Dev Anand. In fact, earlier when Kishore Kumar used to popularly focus on just acting, only Dev Anand was the actor that he would make an exception to sing a few songs for. So in that aspect, Guru Dutt is also one of the discoveries of Dev Anand.
Oh.
Now it's an interesting story how Guru Dutt and Dev Anand met. A lot of people would be familiar with the story, but for those who don't know the story, both were struggling actors at that time. Guru Dutt was a choreographer and he was an assistant director. Now Guru Dutt was trained at Uday Shankar's Dance Academy in Almora, and one of his teachers was the great Zora Sehgal, who went on to do choreograph the dances in Avara, CID and Bazi. A lot of
Somebody is asking you, Gautam, कि ये नव केतन है कि नव चेतन है?
Nav Ketan. So Ketan Anand is Chetan Anand's firstborn. He was the first grandson in the Anand family. तो उनके नाम पे Dev साहब named the company Nav Ketan. So the initial few years, Nav Ketan's banner used to be NAV-Ketan.
Okay.
So it's the new Naya Ketan, new Chetna, new start.
Okay.
That was the idea. But the first film that Nav Ketan produced was a film called Afsar, which was a satirical comedy, and it was a huge flop. It was such a big flop that it cast a shadow of doubt on not just the banner, but also Chetan Anand. And this is where
Shadow of doubt in what context?
that they may not be, Chetan Anand may not be able to make a commercially successful film.
Oh, acha, on the whole idea
On
of
the
film.
whole idea of his filmmaking career. So this is where the youngest of the Anands comes into the picture. Now Goldie Anand, Vijay Anand, popularly known as Goldie because he used to have these golden locks, so he was referred to as Goldie. Now Goldie Saab was in school at that time and he came up with this very cheap, simplistic idea which could be executed without any great fanfare, and the film was called Taxi Driver. So Goldie Anand wrote the film, Dev Saab acted in the film, Kalpana Karthik was cast as the leading lady who later married Dev Saab, and Chetan Anand shot the film. So this film became such a big hit that it completely transformed the careers of Chetan Anand initially, and it established Dev Saab as a big producer. Now during the struggling days,
Wait, before I forget, somebody has asked, did Dev Anand have a son called Sunil?
yeah, Dev Saab had a son called Sunil.
And which is your favorite movie of Dev Saab?
Well, there are many of them. So, as an actor, there is no match on Guide and probably Kala Bazaar. Both films were written and directed by Goldie Saab. So, I really like Dev Saab's acting in these films. As far as Dev Anand, the filmmaker, goes, I have a lot of favorites. I mean, I know that, it will be sacrilegious to say that Dev Saab, the filmmaker, was not a patch on Dev Saab, the actor or the producer. But there are a few films like, I really like Heera Panna, I like Des Pardes, I like even the later films.
Heera Panna was very nice.
Yeah. So I really like these, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, and even Prem Pujari, I don't mind.
Dev Kumar and KK songs were legendary.
Yeah, Dev Anand and Kishore Kumar songs. I mean, he was known as Dev Saab's voice for a few years. Now, Guru Dutt's meeting with Dev Anand is also very interesting. So, Guru Dutt is an assistant choreographer, assistant director, and Dev Saab is a struggling actor. Now, they both shared the they both shared the same dhobi, and they didn't realize that the dhobi had swapped their shirts, and Dev Anand saw this guy wearing his shirt, and Dev Saab was a very, very direct person, दिल के बड़े खुले थे. He just walked up to this guy and said, "कि young man, you're wearing my shirt." So he said maybe our dhobis swapped the shirts, and that is how their friendship began. And they made a promise to each other that no matter who breaks it first, who cracks the code first and becomes a success, he will give the other person a chance. So when Dev Anand became a very big star, a very big actor, he gave Guru Dutt a chance to direct a film for Navketan, which was Bazi, and then Guru Dutt's films also featured Dev Saab regularly. Up
So-
until the point Guru Dutt started acting himself.
So, Gautam, if you look at it from a parent's point of view, so their first introduction probably has been through Guru Dutt.
No, so their first introduction to Guru Dutt would be through Dev Anand. Because mostly when you're young and when you're going to
Okay.
watch a film, you're only looking at these big stars. So this is the zamana of stars like Madhubala, Meena Kumari, Nargis, Raj Kapoor, Dilip Kumar, Dev Anand, Ashok Kumar. So these were the people who were the big faces and you would go to the cinema hall to see them. But Guru Dutt, one would be right in saying, was one of the first smart directors, one of those first avant-garde directors who really wanted to push the envelope, and he made these films which were not regular features. So when Guru Dutt started producing, he gave a break to Raj Khosla, his debut break,
Okay.
and that film was CID, which was the debut of
okay.
Wahida Rehman.
Oh wow.
So Wahida ji in that film was the
CID का
second lead.
पोस्टर देखा हुआ है at
थोड़े
cinema
दिन-
scene.
yeah, थोड़े दिन पहले I was showing you the film also, na? Johnny Walker, and
Ah.
he's talking to that lady who sells who's a panwadi who has a बीड़ी की दुकान.
You want to do that?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
very funny. So he was doing this yesterday. करना Gautam.
Guru Dutt वाला,
हाँ.
Johnny Walker
Yeah,
वाला.
yeah, yeah.
मैं अभी आता हूँ.
आज आपके खाने में क्या है? So he is doing this with me.
So she said हाँ, तो she said मटन बन गया. I said चढ़ा दिया है, बन जाएगा. बड़ी
And
जल्दी
somebody-
में रहते हो हमेशा.
So, yeah, somebody saying songs of Prem Pujari loved its lyrics.
So Prem Pujari's lyrics are by Neeraj, and again that is one of Dev Saab's discoveries. So technically speaking, Gambler is by Neeraj, Prem Pujari is by Neeraj, Tere Mere Sapne songs is by Neeraj ji. So Dev Saab used to be the guy who gave breaks to all these people. So even if you see the early films of Inder Raj Anand, of course Inder ji, who's Tinu Anand's father, wrote a lot for Raj Kapoor also. I mean, he wrote the dialogues for, I think Avara ke dialogues are Inder Raj Anand. But again, people like Rajinder Singh Bedi, Sahil Ludhianvi to a great extent, S.D. Burman. So all these
Oh my
people,
god, it's totally part packed.
it is completely power packed.
So he's a rich guy then.
Dev Saab,
नहीं Guru Dutt.
Guru Dutt is a very rich guy, but this is all Dev Anand. So Guru Dutt's brilliance comes into being after he became an accidental actor. So he wanted to make a film called Pyasa, which is about this poet who nobody cares a damn for. His brothers have ostracized him, and वो शायर है, and वो बड़ा ही मतलब वो इप्टा inspired शायर है, because Sahir used to write the lyrics. So it has songs like कहाँ हैं जिन्हें हिंद पे नाज है. So he's lamenting that in about just 10 years from the independence of India,
हाँ.
the idea of India has gone to the dogs. So there
Okay.
are prostitutes and there are pimps and there are middlemen in the city and nobody is having enough food to eat.
Okay.
So where are those people who are proud
Hmm.
of this जिन्हें हिंद पे नाज है? So Sahir wrote the lyrics for that, and
Okay.
Guru Dutt originally wanted Dilip Kumar to play that poet. So now it's very interesting. So the poet, a lot of people.
But I'm sorry to cut you. Somebody's asked that are those stories about Dev Saab's black outfits true?
Yes,
ये क्या
yes,
story है?
yes. So basically, legend has it that Dev Saab was not allowed to wear black
Why?
because whenever he wore black and he appeared in public, crowds used to throng, people used to jump over each other, and basically it was a scenario that the police or the authorities could not control.
Really? Because he looked handsome. or
He
what?
looked very handsome.
Oh God.
So now Amrita finds it very
I
difficult.
find him very lanky. You know, I don't find him to be this superstar. My kind of guys are Vinod Khanna and Dharmender and that bunch.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's too lanky. If I was to push him, he may fall.
Of course, he may fall. I mean, in a lot of films, see the brilliance of Dev Anand and Rajesh Khanna. Why they became such big stars is that even though they were heroes and leading men, they were still somewhere in the realm of being believable. So now, if you see a film like Kala Pani, काला पानी
But
में
more like roadside Romeo.
Yeah,
You know,
but-
he gets very angry because
No,
he's
but-
such a fan.
वो तो है ही है. So Majroo Sultanpuri was asked to write the lyrics for this song, which eventually became माना जनाब ने पुकारा नहीं, क्या मेरा साथ भी गवारा नहीं. ठीक है, मुफ्त में बन के चल दिए तन के, वल्ला जवाब तुम्हारा नहीं. Now Majroo Sultanpuri, and the song is basically, so Dev Saab is a college student, Nutan is a college student, Nutan ji is in a sari, Dev Saab is in a sherwani, and वो साइकिल लेके पीछे पीछे आ रहे हैं. And you know Dev Saab, then he can be really
Yeah.
impishly, you know, that
There.
कि माना जनाब ने पुकारा नहीं. You know? So Majroo could not understand. Majroo kept asking Nasir Hussain, who is the writer of Paying Guest, कि इसका मतलब क्या है? ये गाना क्यों लिख रहे हैं? What is he trying to do? So finally, after about few hours,
तिल तेलियां, हैं?
Majroo ji cracked it by saying कि छिचोरा है. Okay, मैं समझ गया कि यारों का चलन है, गुलामी देते हैं हसीनों को सलामी. You know? So all these lines Majroo just immediately put after that. But see, the thing is, in Paying Guest, Nutan is a very powerful character. In Kala Pani, which is Devanand's one of his biggest hits, and the first film for which Dev Saab got the Best Actor Filmfare.
You'll have to be louder and मुझे नहीं बात
Yeah.
करना.
So the first film for which he got his Filmfare for Best Actor. Now in that film, Madhubala plays a journalist who's trying to help Devanand to find out whatever happened to his father. So Devanand is trying to go to this kotha to meet this गाने वाली बाई who knows something about his father. Now ये थोड़ा सा layered film है. उसमें Madhubala is the person who's almost steering the boat. She's like the fulcrum of the film. And if you look at Rajesh Khanna's film, if you look at the big hits of Rajesh Khanna, if you look at films like Aradhna, it is actually Sharmila Tagore's film. If you look at Kati Patang, it is Asha Parekh's film. If you look at Do Raste, it is Bindu's film.
Oh, so I get your point. I take longer to come to understand anything simple. So, so what Gautam is saying that for a superstar of his time, when cinema is new to people, to share your space and actually give the space to a lady would probably considered very empowering today. When today there's a fight even for whose name is going to come first on the credits and things like that. So when the character is based more on that person, then you can just imagine, and you don't have a problem with that, goes to show that the person is very cool.
So I genuinely find that to be the case, because see, another example of this is Wahida Rahman. Now, Wahida Rahman and Dev Saab were very close friends, because Wahida Rahman's debut was in Dev Saab's CID, and they've featured in a lot of films together. And she was very young. Devanand was a youth star, and she was told कि वो देव साहब आ गए, उनको नमस्ते बोलो. So she went and she said देव साहब नमस्ते, because that is how you would talk. And Devanand said, please don't call me साहब, call me Dev, call me anything, because we have to work together and we are colleagues. So ये कोई साहब वाला business नहीं चलेगा. So he used to often insist कि after a long time, थोड़े टाइम बाद तो सबका दिमाग खराब हो जाता है. So then, you're okay with it and your age catches up with you. But initially, he would always insist that call me Mr. Anand or Sir, but don't do this Dev Saab, Dev Ji kind of things, So in that aspect, he was very cool. He was always looking for newer people, newcomers. I mean, he gave breaks to his brother who was in school. And the second film that Goldie Saab wanted to narrate, it's a very interesting story. So the family of Dev Anand, his wife Kalpana Karthik and his brother Vijay Anand, they're all traveling from Bombay to Mahabaleshwar for some shoot or something. So it was a very boring trip, and Kalpana Karthik just told Goldie ki, Goldie, entertain me, tell me a story. So he said, Bhabhi, I will tell you a story, but this is a story that I'm writing and I want to direct it. So Dev Anand started laughing. He said, so if Bhaiya is sitting there, and Goldie Anand used to call Dev Anand Papa because there's a huge age.
Really? How many years?
10-12 साल का एज गैप रहा होगा.
आजकल तो इतने में शादी कर लेते हैं.
या तो उस टाइम पे he said कि but अगर पापा सुनेंगे तो मैं फिर नहीं सुनाऊंगा, unless he promises that I will direct the film. So he said, Goldie, you're too young, you're just in college, you write and you सीखोगे. He said, मैं नहीं, अगर आप डायरेक्ट करने का प्रॉमिस नहीं करोगे तो मैं सुना नहीं पाऊंगा. Finally he said, okay, if I'm impressed, फिर देखेंगे. In that trip he narrated 9-11, that film, and that is the film that Vijay Anand directed. So look at Dev Anand's faith in his brother.
कदम तो उनसे बात कर, because यहाँ पे तेरी आवाज.
So look at Dev Anand's faith in the talents of people and his brother, and just simply agreeing to whatever Vijay Anand used to tell him to do. Of course, over a period of time, by the mid-60s, it became very difficult because Dev Anand started caricaturizing himself, because you became so huge, you became such a big legend that you did not know what to do. So after a while, like I have heard stories towards the late 90s where Dev Saab was making films, and if a young person would tell Dev Saab कि सर मैं सोच रहा था कि कैमरा यहाँ रख के मतलब अगर शॉट हम वहां से लें, so Dev Saab would just look at say कि जितनी तुम्हारी उम्र नहीं है उतना देव का एक्सपीरियंस है, कैमरा वही रहेगा. So you could not argue with these people, but I'm still okay with that. I'm still okay with the nonsensical films that Dev Anand made till the very end. You remember that film that we saw at cinemas that Jay was talking about, censor youth sunflowers and all.
Oh my god, that was really bad. That was horrible movie.
So I'm okay with Dev Anand making these films because that kept the man alive. And what a way to go. He died in his sleep, no dard, no pain, no nothing. And till the very end, his office used to
And
be
he
on
was
the,
really on till the very end.
yeah, his office used to be on the 5th floor or something, and he would always take the stairs. He would never take the
How old
escalator.
was he when he passed away?
He was in his late 80s, 87, 88.
Wow. Yeah, so that goes to show he was very happy with his life.
And also, see, that is the difference. Now, Gurudutt's talent became a burden for himself. Now, in Wahida Rahman's interviews with Nasreen Munni Kabir, it's a fascinating book. You guys should read it. It's Conversations with Wahida Rahman. And Nasreen Munni Kabir has this long, extended interviews with Wahida Rahman. And she asks about those days when it was alleged that they had an affair, or, you know,
Who, Wahida Rahman and he had an affair.
and Gurudutt. So basically, Kagaz Ki Phool was his life story where the filmmaker loses his touch because he falls in love with the actresses that he discovers, and she does not.
He's known for that.
No, it may have happened, it may not have happened. That's not the point. The point is that Wahida Rahman says that he was a very depressed man. Gurudutt could not deal with whatever was happening around him, and he just couldn't come to terms with what was happening. And see, he became an accidental actor. Arya Par, Mr. and Mrs. 55 are films where, you know, he acted for a lark. But later, when he wanted to make his magnum opus, Pyasa is a story where he plays a poet called Vijay. Nobody likes Vijay. Vijay gives his jacket to a street urchin. The street urchin dies in an accident. People think that Vijay has died. They print his book, and suddenly his book becomes very big, and he's celebrated like a poet now. So he can't understand कि ये क्या दुनिया है. So he's coming to. So there is a character of Abdul Sattar, who's the.
Meaning that I was always the same person, but it took somebody to put me at a pedestal for you to understand who I was.
Or my death for you to realize that, you know, how valuable my life was.
Yeah.
So he's in love with a prostitute. He has a tail malish wala, the role played by Johnny Walker. Tail malish, you know, Sar Jo Tera Chakra, that song. So he has this for his best friend. So he's very distraught. No, he wanted Dilip Kumar to play that role because Dilip Kumar was known as the tragedy king.
Oh yeah, he would have fit.
Yeah.
Devanand is supposedly the happy guy.
Devanand is a completely happy-go-lucky guy.
So then what made them want to cast him?
No. Gurudutt wanted to cast Dilip Kumar to play that poet.
Who did they cast?
Gurudutt played the role himself.
Oh, achha, he's as depressed.
Yeah.
So there
No,
was
because Dilip Kumar refused that film. He said, now Dilip Saab had played so many tragic roles that his psychiatrist told him that please start playing some light comic roles because you are getting too much into the skin of the character. So that is why he refused Pyasa. So I feel that.
Oh, so Badam, I guess Pyasa was a shade of existentialism. Was he one of those
Existential. Yeah. I mean, you know, see.
So Gautam bhi hai, they asked some questions ki what's the point to life and all that. But there's no point,
Yeah, there is no point. But if there is no point, see, I can't be saying that there is no point, I'm not going to write my books. There is no point, I'm not going
there's
to
a
write
point
my
to
articles.
everything, but then there's a point to nothing. So what does it matter?
So it depends on how you're able to deal with that kind of stuff. Devanand could, Gurudutt couldn't. It is as simple as that. I don't have a problem with people, you know, doing what they want or how they want to live their life. But somewhere you need to understand that, you know, boss, you're not the center of the world. So things can change. I mean, such an immensely talented person, Gurudutt, the kind of cinematography in his film with V.K. Murthy. I mean, you've redefined everything.
So your own talent becomes your curse because what is it that you feel you never got your due, or you felt that I could have done so much more? What is the issue?
I think in Gurudutt's case was that he realized somewhere that there is no point.
Point to what?
There is no point to making films because
the craft itself.
Yeah, because maybe the film that you like will not work and it will completely go down the drain. You will lose all your money. Maybe the film that you don't have any expectations from. Like another example I can give you is J. Om Prakash. the late Jyom Prakash, filmmaker, producer, director. He made a film called Akraman, which was a war film with Sanjeev Kumar, Rakesh Roshan, and Rekha. And a lovely song in that. It's a Rajesh Khanna special appearance. That Fauji Aaya Jab Gaon Mein song written by Anand Bakshi. Great. I really like that song. Now, he said that मेरे तो पैर में Jyom Prakash ji said कि मेरे पैर में छाले निकल आए because I was shooting non-stop. I was trying to get the war scenes done, this done. The bloody film didn't work. And he said I produced a film called Asha just to keep my production house busy because the people are on salaries. I have to pay salary. तो कुछ करने के लिए
Asha ka to I've heard.
Huge hit.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
That lovely songs. वो आदमी मुसाफिर है, आता है, जाता है. Anand Bakshi songs, and Asha has a great. I mean, it became one of the biggest hits. So that kind of unpredictability, you can't deal with it. So you need to be one step ahead of it. You need to be just keep on moving. It is all about movement. It is all about getting to the next thing. You can't lull. That is what Devanand used to do. Devanand made some really stupid films. But look at Devanand's craft. Look at Devanand's thinking. The entire world saw the hippies and the counterculture movement and how India also played a big role in that. But now in India, you define hippies by Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. That is Dev Saab's film. And
okay.
so he was sitting in a bar where a woman came to him and told him कि my name is Jasbir and I am completely distraught because मैं पड़ गई drugs के चक्कर में and I don't know what will happen to my world, and she just then never met Devanand again.
Oh, okay.
That thing stuck in Devanand's mind and he wrote Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, where he got Zeenat Aman to play Jasbir / Janice. He got that. He understood
That scene really did stick out. I mean, for somebody like me who's very difficult to recall on cinema, I remember that scene very well.
So you look at these films. So you look at a film like Desh Pardesh, which is the late 70s. It is about illegal immigrants, Indians going to UK and hiding from the law there and just trying to make a life for themselves. So he addressed that issue. He addressed drugs in the youth in a film called Hum Naujawan.
So if anybody has any questions about any of these movies, let us know, because right now I'm not getting any questions. Earlier there was a whole bunch of questions and I think I may have missed them. So abhi nahi aa rahe. So I can ask. I didn't mean to miss them.
So now many of us would remember this great badminton player called Syed Modi. Syed Modi was one of the poised to become one of the greatest badminton players in India. He's in the mid to late 80s. Syed Modi was murdered. He was coming out of the practice after finishing his practice from the courts, and unknown assailants came and popped a few bullets at him and off
Why
he
would
went.
they kill him?
There's a lot of dirt there that it was a paid killing or it was.
Also, this
Let's not get into that.
Yeah, so there's enough on
so
part.
yeah. So if you search the net, you will find out. But Dev Saab made a film called 100 Crore, which was about the Syed Modi murder. Then later, when there was this whole LTTE problem coming up, and then corruption in cricketing bodies coming up, he made Awal Number, which is about a militant strike. He made Sache Ka Bol Bala, which is about how the press.
Dev Saab had movies in English titles and were very well received. How did that work? Given those times.
Yeah, so now it depends on how you want to see how they were worked. So Dev Anand was looking at a career in Hollywood. There were offers and there was a great interest from the West in Dev Anand. Dev Anand wanted to produce. See, by the time Dev Anand decided to try that out, he was a huge star. So there was no point in shifting base from India, going there, parking yourself for 6-8 months. But it was the women in Hindi films who got more offers. So Madhubala got an offer from Frank Capra. Lot of people, Begum Para got an offer. So Madhubala's father refused. Frank Capra was very interested in a career for Madhubala, but the father refused. So there were a lot of offers. Now Dilip Kumar was offered the role that Omar Sharif played in Lawrence of Arabia. And David Lean specifically wanted Dilip Kumar, but Dilip Kumar was not interested because he said it's not the lead. And that
Wow.
role, that role
Wow.
turned Omar Sharif into a global star. Now, Dilip Kumar was right in probably thinking that that role, that particular character, will, no matter who plays it, is not going to spawn into a career in Hollywood. But he was wrong, because David Lean then gave Omar Sharif the lead in Dr. Zhivago. So there was a possibility, but
My God.
these guys were not interested in taking that risk. So in the late 50s and early 1960s, Devanand was interested in a Hollywood career, and he was very good friends with Pearl S. Buck, the Nobel laureate.
Okay.
So he wanted to adapt Pearl Buck's The Good Earth
Okay.
into a film. But Pearl Buck is the person who told him that no, Dave, don't look at this book, look at R.K. Narayan's Guide. Guide is a film that you should be remaking. So he bought the rights for Guide and decided to make Guide in English and in Hindi simultaneously. So there was a big...
But is there any movie that you ever came across which you would say gives a you would say okay, Guide and this one, or that you put them on the same benchmark?
The other, like a Hollywood film.
Any movie.
No, I think Guide is one of the greatest films ever made. There is no doubt about that. For my money, I would rate Raj Kapoor's Awara very high. I would say that the impact that Awara has had, the silent impact that Awara has had on Hindi films, be it the characters, be it the situations, be it the narrative, is almost similar to the impact that Citizen Kane has had on English films or
But
cinema.
I'm so sorry. A lot of people are going to get very angry with me. But honestly, Citizen Kane, come on. You know, everybody's like it's the best thing that I.
No,
like,
see,
I don't think.
you're
Maybe it's a disclosure of something
No.
going on in the world, but I don't know.
See, okay, would you be impressed by somebody who does a headstand?
Yeah. Ah, okay.
But would you be
Look
impressed?
how he reduced me
No,
to
no,
that.
no. I'm coming to a point. Okay, tell me something, some talent or some craft or something which you think is like wow.
Acha, like that.
Huh.
Something that Gautam is simple. I can't do, but the messaging. I don't have an example really to.
So no, you have to tell me. See, okay, for example, a pole vault. Okay.
हाँ ठीक है.
Or say, let's take for instance Roger Bannister. You can't run a mile under 4 minutes or 3 minutes or whatever Roger Bannister
But
did.
if you're in the entertainment segment, I'm not really interested beyond the point how difficult it was, what somebody did, what the other couldn't do.
I'm coming to a point. I am saying that, okay, seat belts. Let's take the example of seat belts.
Okay.
So now, which is that Scandinavian car? Volvo. Volvo invented seat belts, did not patent it.
Stuti say hi.
Hi, Stuti, how are you?
Also, Gautam, sorry, somebody is asking a question. R.K. Narayan was dissatisfied with the adaptation of his work and termed the movie as misguided.
Yeah. So now the reason for that was that the English version, which was truer to the book, did not do that well. Commercially, it was a washout. One of the reasons was that people were perhaps not ready for that kind of exotic fare from Asia. So you wanted actors to talk in the local dialect, but actors like Peter Sellers or Alec Guinness. So Alec Guinness played a sheikh in Lawrence of Arabia, or Alec Guinness played Dr. Godbole, an Indian character in.
So they want to, but they don't want to.
Yeah.
Also.
So us zamane ke liye, I think it was too fine. And the other film that Devanand made, which is Zinat Aman's first film, is an English film, The Fear Within.
So what Gautam is saying that basically maybe R.K. Narayan probably.
No, so he's right. So the Hindi version went through a lot of changes. So initially Chetan Anand was supposed to direct Guide, but then Chetan Saab got permission to shoot on the Northwest Frontier Province for his film
So given
Haqiqat.
the factors at play, there is a lot lost when you make a movie and you can't probably complete justice because there's production involved and there are 100 other inputs. So given whatever it took, I think it turned out a pretty terrific movie.
So Goldie Anand when he finally came, so Chetan Anand refused the film. Then Raj Khosla was supposed to direct, but Wahida ji said that I will never work with Raj Khosla. Finally, Karkaraki, it went to Goldie Saab. But what Goldie Anand did was he told his brother that I am going to treat this as an original script and I am going to change things. And they were so desperate because sets were ready, shooting karni thi. He said, do whatever you want.
Okay.
So Goldie Anand rewrote the screenplay,
एक
rewrote
तो
the
these
ending.
Anand brothers बहुत सारे हैं, हाँ, so there's a
So,
bunch of them.
so that works better for me. I think Guide's adaptation in the Hindi version is a much better narrative than the book. And perhaps that is why R.K. Narayan was not
Really?
happy because because if you
Wow.
it's a perfect film. There is nothing even today 60 years
मतलब
later.
earthquake आया ना?
पता नहीं। अभी
Did you guys feel an earthquake? Anybody from Delhi?
मैं इतना हिल रहा हूँ that I
Yeah,
don't
हम
know.
हिलते भी हैं, but आया I think अभी कुछ हुआ है. अच्छा, anyways, Gautam, no disrespect to Raj Kapoor, but there were shades of Chaplin's cramped character.
Yeah. So that's the point that I'm coming to. Now, the tramps trope was used by Raj Kapoor because, let's face it, why reinvent the wheel? Okay.
हाँ.
And also that is उस जमाने की बात होती थी साहब, that it is also a way of saying कि मैंने देखी तुमने नहीं देखी है. So there are a lot of things which were a copy or a lift, but you would never know the source because you did not have access to that. So probably the trope of the tramp was very good. So this is where the whole Citizen Kane thing also comes in. The things used in Citizen Kane were used for the first time. Then they became a parameter. So tramp, the character of the tramp, who knows how did Chaplin get that idea? He must have seen. He was from England. He must have seen some traveling troupe or something where he got this idea. But for the world, the minute you put your feet like this, or you do the tramp thing, or you put that, mustache here and a bowler hat, and then you do that kind of thing. So it's Chaplin. So you don't know any other reference point. So I think in that aspect, Avara is the film where the tramp is not there, but Avara's impact is brilliant on everything else that follows. In that aspect, I feel that
So I think one of the reasons why Gautam likes what he likes is because he feels that if I need a reference point, which is the first one that I recollect, and which is the one which really came closest to
Yeah.
that aspect.
Also,
because
see-
he's an historian,
No,
so he needs these.
we also see there is nothing original. Okay, everything has to come from some place. You can't be a single cell organism one day and then make Avara the next day. Okay, so there is a journey. So all my writing, I may know it, I may not know it, but that style, that nuance has come to me from whatever I have gathered all my life. So the way somebody spoke to me, or the way I have the habit of looking at things. In that aspect, I would also rate Ram Gopal Verma as one of the greatest influence on filmmakers. Now, Ramu's later films notwithstanding. But from 1989, Shiva, the Hindi remake was in 1990,
Please check my previous comment. Oh, take up there.
till today.
नहीं तो वो आंसर हो गया on R.K. Narayan and dissatisfied.
So
वो
R.K.
answer हो
Narayan
गया.
was not happy with the way Guide the film turned out, but everybody has their own way of looking at things. For me,
So Gautam said the movie is better. Oh God.
yeah, for me, the movie is not better per se vis-a-vis the book, but you can't just adapt a book. See, for example,
Comment on Jewel Thief and Ziddi. Oh, the comment miss हो गया. Gautam, go on.
I don't know,
So comment on Ziddi and क्या था Jewel Thief.
Jewel Thief.
You want to talk about that? I have no idea where the comment is.
So-
So there's a lot of them.
See-
Miss हो गया. But anyways, he can address the whole movie, I guess.
So Jewel Thief is also one of the best thrillers ever made. It takes Jewel Thief is an interesting example because it takes inspiration from the hero that Hitchcock has had in every film. So if you look at Dev Anand's Vinay in Jewel Thief, and then if you look at North by Northwest, the role that Cary Grant played, Roger Thornhill's role in that film. So it's a perfect ode to the Hitchcock leading man, smart, suave, finding.
Sanjay Ramayya. Can you please correlate the inclusion of Ashok Kumar in Jewel Thief with his Ashok Kumar support for Dev for Ziddi in 1948? ठीक है, question
In
तो
that,
बहुत drama question.
yeah, but in what context? How did Ashok Kumar?
ये तो पढ़ ले because I don't know, something may be lost in translation.
No, I don't think that it's got to do with the fact that, as I understand that, Ashok Kumar helped Dev Anand find his feet or bearings in the industry. That is why Jewel Thief was like a payback, that kind of sort. It may be an ode to Ashok Kumar from the Anand brothers, because Kishore Kumar owes a lot of success, initial success as a singer to Dev Saab, and then his resurgence is also post Aradhna, the songs of Jewel Thief, and I mean the kind of love that Dev Anand had for Kishore Kumar is that when he saw the entire cut of Guide, he said कि अरे इसमें तो किशोर के लिए कोई गाना ही नहीं है. So the song कि गाता रहे मेरा दिल was planned, executed only to have Kishore Kumar in the film. कि एक किशोर के लिए गाना बनाना पड़ेगा. So एक love
But
song,
well done. That was
एक
nice.
duet
That
बनाते.
one recalls with a fond and affection.
So I feel that at that stage, I think it's probably Goldie Anand trying to get Ashok Kumar or trying to direct Ashok Kumar in a film, because they were very close friends. And somewhere, you know, when you're growing up and when you're from a film family and you're looking at somebody walk in and walk out of your house, you would often think how you would correlate to that person. So there are very few examples when people don't want to do that consciously. One example I can say is Mansoor Khan. Mansoor Khan told me that even though he grew up watching R.D. Burman walk in, walk out of his house because he used to work with his father Nasir Saab on the music, he could not think of working with him because R.D. Burman's aura was too big for him. He could not come to terms with saying, I mean, I've seen Pancham Uncle walk in, walk out. I couldn't get myself to tell him, you know, I'm not happy with this. But he says that he never for a minute doubted that R.D. Burman would not listen to him or would not take his instructions seriously or not. But he just couldn't get himself to do that. So the same thing.
Was Devika Rani instrumental in launching careers of Dilip Kumar and Dev Saab?
So Dilip Kumar, yes, because Devika Rani had the approval power in the studio that launched the first film Jwar Bhata, where Dilip Kumar replaced the leading man or the original choice. I don't know as much about Dev Saab because Dev Saab is Prabhat films, and Prabhat did not have any direct connection with Devika Rani.
This sounds very corporate. So who gets to take the call?
Yeah.
Acha, Gautam, there's another question. I had read that Raj Kumar was initially the sounded for Jewel Thief.
I don't think so. I probably would not think, because at that time Raj Kumar was always a good second lead. So if you read, there's a new book on Rajendra Kumar which has come out. Fascinating story of Rajendra Kumar's life, very lucidly told. So उसमें Raj साहब tells Rajendra Kumar, you know, जानी मेरा भी कुछ ख्याल रख लो, भाई साहब मेरे लिए भी कुछ कर लो. So he was always the go-to person for the second lead. So Dil Ek Mandir happens because of Rajendra Kumar. So I don't think that Raj saab would have been in the running.
Maybe he spread too
But
much.
Zanjeer, yes. Zanjeer, Prakash Mehra. See, Zanjeer was originally a property of Dharamji. Dharamji had that rights to that script.
Acha, as the main villain.
As the main villain, no, I don't think so.
That doesn't work out at all. I think Gautam is saying.
Yeah, because I am not too sure. But that's an interesting point to start off
look for
searching. So Zanjeer was originally Dharamji's script. It was his property. Dharamji is a very emotional man, and he worked on a film called Samadhi with Prakash Mehra. And Dharamji's sister or one of his relatives was the producer of the film, and they did not have that great an experience working with Prakash Mehra. So they told Dharamji that, you know, iske saath kaam mat karna, ye baat nahi banti. And Dharamji basically said कि ठीक है, you know, they don't like, so no big deal. So he let go of Zanjeer when Prakash Mehra went and told him that I am trying to pitch it elsewhere. Zanjeer also has a lot of interesting stories, so I think Dharamji would have been ideal in that role. And then that film goes to Rajkumar, and the reason Rajkumar refuses, legendary reason, I don't know how true, but knowing Rajkumar Saab, it can be true. He did not like the hair oil that Prakash Mehra used to.
Stinky oil?
Yeah. He said कि मैं एक साल डेढ़ साल इसके साथ नहीं काम कर सकता. Dev Anand was also approached by Prakash Mehra for
Really? That
Zanjeer.
was
Yeah.
one. So he could have changed his oil. इतना क्या है?
Yeah, but who knows क्या वजह
क्या बोला
रही है.
उसको? Oh God.
Dev Anand said कि दो तीन गाने डाल दो, कर लेंगे फिर. I can play a cop. You know, I imagine Dev Anand saying that dialogue. You know, that great dialogue. ये पुलिस स्टेशन है, तुम्हारे बाप का घर नहीं, जब तक बैठने को कहा ना जाए खड़े रहो. Imagine
That Devanand said.
नहीं, that is Amitabh Bachchan's
Yeah,
dialogue,
yeah, yeah.
but imagine Devanand saying
He
that.
can't say that.
ये पुलिस स्टेशन है,
उधर-
तुम्हारे बाप का घर नहीं, जब तक बैठने को कहा ना जाए खड़े रहो.
Not bad. हो गया. Not bad. हाँ.
That dialogue would have been good for anybody. See, that's the brilliance of a good dialogue. Imagine, you know, while reading the Narendra Kumar biography, I was reading that there was a phase where Prakash Mehra and Narendra Kumar also were interacting a lot.
We are walking encyclopedia.
Yeah, I started imagining Rajendra Kumar as a career change option in Zanjeer. I mean, वो difficult था, but Rajkumar would have been fine. You know that वो थोड़ा nuance ज़्यादा हो जाता. ये पुलिस स्टेशन है.
Oh,
मेरे
Gautam
बाप
has
का
a
घर
lot
नहीं.
of Rajkumar with me. Khanna Gautam, the regular professor.
क्या वो कहता है प्रोफेसर. I think who was that guy? अपना one of the actors in Bulandi says that. So he says हुक्म लेता नहीं देता है प्रोफेसर.
Also, Professor Tanun a bit of a commando. बाद में गन निकाल के सबके पीछे पड़ा हुआ है.
हाँ.
It's crazy.
So I mean, you can imagine Dharamji saying that dialogue. You can imagine Rajkumar saying that. Of course, the way Amitabh Bachchan says it, and then the whole angry young man phenomena starts. It's etched in your minds. But I mean, that's the brilliance of a good dialogue, which is what Amitabh Bachchan also says. He says Diwar was so well written that probably anybody else would have said that those lines. It may have worked with the audience. It may not have become that big a hit or a milestone or memorable, but ऐसा problem नहीं होती that people would not have found it convincing. Of course, I don't know how.
Yeah, so anybody can adapt to. That's a good point, Gautam. Like how you just did Devanand.
Yeah.
Now that convinced me that it can be done.
You know, I was just thinking that Rajendra Kumar was known to be a romantic star, Jubilee star he was called. But imagine him losing some 5-6 kgs, getting a haircut, being in the police officer's uniform and being stern. See, you can't imagine Devanand and Charles Bronson together. But watch a film called Lashkar. No, watch a film called Lashkar. Okay? He's exactly like Charles Bronson in that.
Really?
I mean, आप Death
Charles
Wish.
Bronson, A-Team and all that. Well, action,
हाँ,
hardcore.
Death Wish.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Everything.
So if you see Death Wish and then if you see Lashkar, Dev Saab gets to play his action star thing, you know.
Brother, somebody's asking you for the dope. Any interesting story about Saudagar, Rajkumar and Dilip Kumar together? Ego perhaps? Such
नहीं, ego नहीं होती है. People have their own problems. So थोड़ा 19-20 होता है. But Subhash Ghai cracked the code when he cast these two stalwarts in the film. And the first day when they all came to shoot, you didn't know how to, मतलब Dilip Kumar and Rajkumar and together and all young people working.
Yeah.
So I think somebody in the unit cracked the code and Subhash Ghai said, चुन्नू मुन्नू को शॉट के लिए बुला दो.
Chunnu Munnu gaana?
दिलीप कुमार and Rajkumar.
Well
So
done.
that eased
Yeah,
the
that
situation,
just
you know.
totally. Oh, well done. Who's this person who said that?
Subhash Ghai.
He's very cool. He understands the human nature. That was well done. So, Gautam, tu thak gaya?
हाँ, मतलब
How long have you been at it?
so exactly an hour.
Oh wow. Okay, so any last moment questions? Let's take a break. मेरी चाय भी खत्म हो गई है. Gautam की coffee I got a whole thermos. He just had one coffee. So
But I have
and
a
if no questions coming
copper
through, we are
bottle.
ending this now. Thank you for listening. Okay, no questions coming through. So thanks
Thanks
guys
for watching.
Thanks for listening and let us know in your comments if you want any other topics that Gautam should be speaking about.
Yeah. I can have lots of fun. Thank you for being there and your comments and your questions and everything. And we're still fighting coronavirus, so please be safe. Stay safe. Stay indoors as much as possible. And we are in a very
Critical part, so
Yeah.
don't take it lightly now. थोड़ा सा और कर लो.
बस वो जैसे हिंदी में कहते हैं ना, हाथी निकल गया पूंछ बाकी है बस.
थोड़ी देर और.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Bye bye. Gautam, ये तू कर.
How does this stop finish?